100 years ago, horses worked all over society, pulling plows and carrying people from one place to another. During the First World War, they took a major part by pulling cannon. After the First World War, horses fell out of use because the internal combustion engine was more powerful than them and cheaper than them. So cars could go faster than horse and cart. So now there's a few horses in Central Park, horse racing, of course. Like, we watch them race for fun. So humans are going to go the same way. Here is an LSAT question. It's pretty hard. GPT 3.5 struggles on this. It's worse than most humans that who are taking the test. GPT 4 does better than most humans on this test. And the humans taking this test are studying pretty hard. Like, they're competing to get into law school. It's highly competitive. They study for months or years before taking the test. GPT-4 just takes the test. The scores higher. Here are scores across multiple standardized tests. GPT-4 does really well. GPT 3.5, yeah, it's not clearly better than the average human, but GPT-4 does really well. It's like in the 80th percentile across many exams. So LSAT, bar exam, physics, chemistry. It is widely acknowledged that GPT-4 is becoming good at development, but it can only do like really simple things. Like, you give it a single specific class and a description of what that class should do, or this function rather. It can implement that really well, but it doesn't yet show the ability to handle larger projects. It doesn't have the ability to cast its attention, but that's not impossible. We don't need to improve GPT-4 itself to do that. Projects like AutoGPT show the ability to attend across different aspects, and I have my own project called Scalable GPT Developer, where I get GPT-4 to first create API specs for different classes and files in the project, and then it writes each of those files. It can do that without looking at the other components because the interface is well defined. This is what humans do too. Humans implementing those little individual blocks, they can't hold in their head the entire project. They can hold in their head kind of the specs for the whole project, kind of like very high level. When a human is writing a particular part of that project, they can only focus on one little bit, not the whole project. They can't remember every line in the project. It's impossible. GPT-4 is the same. Yeah, GPT-4 can hold a particular function in its head at one time, write it out in seconds. So using attention mechanisms, GPT-4 actually can develop large applications. GPT-4 won't replace humans just yet. But here's a graph. GPT 3.5, let us say hand-wavingly that its IQ, because it's like fifth scores about average for humans on standardized tests, right? So let's call it IQ 100. GPT-4 is in the 80th percentile across standardized tests. So let's say its IQ is 80th percentile, which is IQ 113. So here it is plotted on this graph. GPT 3.5 came out in 2022. GPT-4 came out 1 year later in February 2023. We've got these 2 points. We can draw a line. Where does this line go? I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I think it's going to go outwards. And I think it's going to go outwards pretty quickly. What can we do about this? Nothing. There's nothing we can do about it. China tried cutting itself from the rest of the world for a while in the Qing dynasty. And the result was just the rest of the world grew and became very powerful and then walked all over China. It didn't work well for them. If one particular country says, oh, AIs are banned, like AIs with an IQ of more than 100, you're not allowed to use them, the other countries are going to keep growing, developing their technology. Eventually that country which banned AI above IQ 100, it's going to get walked over by all of the other countries. Do you think it's realistic that all countries are going to get together and ban AI? No, I mean, there might be countries that say, oh yeah, sure, yeah, we'll ban it, and they're not going to actually stop developing it. They're going to keep developing it, right? So it's not realistic to expect that AI development's going to stop. And I actually personally don't want it to stop. I want to see what happens. I want to open this Pandora's box. I want to see the intelligent computers, and I think that's going to be fun, even though they will destroy us. So what will I do? Well, I'm going to enjoy this ride, surfing this wave, and yeah, just enjoy it while I can.